Yes, sir.
What's up, everyone? What's up, everyone? How y'all doing? Welcome to another Tech Talk. This is your host, Josh from KeepItTechie, and today I got another special guest in the building. It's JK from JK's Tech Labs. I'm happy to have him in the building today. Um, you
What's
already
up? What's up?
know, yeah, you already know what it is, but uh, just go on and say hello, man, to everybody.
Hey, what's
Yeah.
up, man? I'm glad to be here, man. Love what you're doing. I appreciate the invite. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? Let's get into it. You know what I'm saying?
Cool. Yeah, I'm happy to have you, man. It's like I say, it's always good to, bring on, different people that work in the IT field just to get their perspectives and all that stuff on how to actually get into it and because it's different ways, you know what I'm
Right,
saying,
right.
in different areas. So, it's good to hear other people's stories. So,
No doubt.
yeah, but let me go down and let you introduce yourself and give a little bit about your background, and we can move forward.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. So like you said, man, my name is JK Swopes, and website is JKS Tech Lab or JK's Tech Lab. It's kind of a play on both. And yeah, I've been in IT and tech for probably, close to 15, 16 years. Um, you want me to just kind of get into the background?
Yeah.
I'll try to give you a nutshell of it, but basically, I think I first got introduced to computers probably freshman year in high school when my mom and my parents were like, "Hey, you need to take a keyboarding class." And back then, I was like, that was like '96, so I was like, "Nah, man, I don't want to learn how to type. I'm not trying to be a secretary or anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to, be a fashion designer or do this or do that. You know what I'm saying?" She was like, my mom's like, "Nah, computers is gonna be the way. You need to do it." So I did it, and it was cool, but I really didn't dive into computers at that time. But now when we talk, she's like, "See, I told you was gonna be. Look at you now." So anyway, so we did that, man, and then I would say in my junior year, we had this thing where I could go to a technical school for half of the day during school. So my parents were
Okay.
like, they were always pushing me to try different stuff. Like my pops was like, we're gonna try ROTC, you're gonna try this, you're gonna try that. And I know you military, and a lot of cats you talk to is military. Salute to y'all. I knew early on that was not gonna work for me. But anyway, but I did do ROTC for a couple of years. But my junior and senior year, I did a dual where I went to a technical school, and it was like electronics. So I was into electronic technology, fixing radios,
Hmm.
resistors, messing with PLCs, all that type of stuff. So I thought I was going to be like, in electronics, doing stuff like that. Ended
Hmm.
up ended up getting into an apprenticeship once I got out of school, and I was like a commercial electrician. So I was
Okay.
doing that. I mean, I was out there doing, the high voltage stuff and working on power plants right next to the coal burners and trying to fix, stuff like that. Now,
Okay.
I was like, that's a little bit much for me because you was in the elements. You was like either in the cold or the
Hmm.
heat, and I was just like, I don't know about that. And then knowing all that high voltage. My wife, she was like, it's cool, but I don't know about that either. I don't want you getting blown up or something out there. So,
Hmm.
so I've tried a bunch of different stuff, man. But then I ended up around, I would say, so I graduated in 2000. I would say probably around 2004. I was like, I was always messing with computers for music stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I was fixing them and doing different things like that. So I ended up going to a technical school
Hmm.
to kind of it was kind of a duel. They tricked me, man. They tricked me. They was like, I went there, I was like, I want to learn computers. He's like, well, we got a computer class and we're going to be starting a networking class, but it's a dual thing with electronics. And I was like, well, I got electronics background, I'll do that, and we'll do this. So I enrolled in that joint. All they had was the A+ class, and then the rest of it
Hmm.
was electronic stuff. So they got me, man. They didn't even bring the networking class until after I graduated from there. So I had to go
Oh.
to so I ended up going to another technical school to get into the networking and different things like that.
Hmm.
And so that was like a couple years. And then I would say probably about 2005, I was looking for a job. So I just emailed, like I looked on the city's website and found their IT department and emailed the then director of of the IT department. I was like, hey, this is who I am. Can I have a job? Basically,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? And they was cool. They brought me in for an interview, and that's kind of how my IT career started. From there, I was, help desk, sysadmin, became the network engineer, different things like that. So it was a city. I was doing stuff like networking for the traffic lights and the
Wow.
police stations, and VPN for the cars to talk back to the station. And
Mm-hmm.
so I got to get my hands on a lot of stuff, firehouses, all that different stuff, as well as just your general enterprise stuff. So I did that for about 7.5 years. But our kids were younger at the time. I was getting home late, missing stuff. So it's like your kids get home and you trying to ask them what they doing or how their day was, and it's 6, 7 o'clock. They got out of school at 3. They don't really want to talk
Yeah.
to you about you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I know you got kids. They don't really want to talk to you at that. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
man, it was taking up a little bit too much of family time for me. So at the same time I was doing that, I was also building my own business in the audio technology realm. So after about 7 years, 7.5 years, around 2012, I left the network engineer job and just became self-employed. And the my consulting business is not strictly IT. Like, it's not like supporting enterprise businesses. It was, like I said, working with different audio equipment manufacturers, and teaching people how to use this gear and different stuff like that. But all of my tech background came into play, because as I'm running my
Okay.
business, I got to run my websites. I gotta manage the back end of. I got like 3 or 4 membership sites. So I got to do the LMS. I got to set that up. I got to do identity management there. I got to do the SSL. So all the stuff that I know was being used in my business. It just wasn't like strictly IT, but the background of it was still IT stuff. So
Yeah.
did that for about 8 years, and then actually now it's kind of like I call it my second round of
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, enterprise IT. So I would say what, maybe February of 2020, I got a job, again, in enterprise IT for the local government, this time for the state. And the reason I did that, man, it was just kids are older, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
our last one graduated and stuff like that. So it was just like, I'm always looking for something. I'm always looking for a new challenge. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did the IT thing, then I built the business, and the business is fine, it's running, it does what it does. And then I was like, well, let me try something else, so that because I know a lot of times people will say follow your passion, but I've this is a little bit of a tangent, but as somebody who was able to build a business off of something that I really enjoy doing, sometimes you don't think about the fact that, when something you love so much is your job and the way that you make a living, sometimes it can take a little bit of the joy out of it. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So for me, it was like, well, let me add another stream of income on top of this stuff, so that it's not just that. So then I can get back to having fun and doing stuff with the music and things like that, and letting it do what it does. And then I'm still passionate about IT, learning, security, how things work, how to fix things, different stuff like that. So it's like, for me, it's a challenge to kind of take a job after being, self-employed for so long.
Mm-hmm.
So I end up applying for like basically like a tier 2 help desk position. Of course, for me, it's like people are like, why would you do
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
For me, it was like, it was twofold. For one, it's like I feel like that in that type of position, you can really learn a lot about a company,
Oh
the
yeah.
different departments, how things work, how things operate, all that different stuff. So you can kind of see where you want to go, where you want to fit in. I knew I can do the job. I knew it would be low stress. You know what I'm saying? All that
Mm-hmm.
type of stuff. And then two, to be honest, man, like, I really wanted to see if I even wanted to have a job again.
Yeah. I
You know
got
what I'm
you.
saying? So yeah. But fast forward, that was February 2020, March 2020, everything shut down. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm back at home,
Mm-hmm.
and so, like, a lot of people were having a hard time adjusting to working from home and stuff like that. For me, I'm like, I prefer it. That's my preferred method of working. So I was cool. You know what I'm saying? And so that's kind of where I'm at now. And so I started the website just to kind of document my journey, document the stuff that I'm learning. And plus, it's, like I said, for me, it's just fun to try to just challenge myself and see where I can go. Like I said, after stepping away from the enterprise side of IT, but even though I still kept, my skills sharp in actually running my business and maintaining the IT of that. So just kind of seeing how stuff translates, seeing what I want to do. And yes, running into guys like you and Professor Black Ops and DJX Alpha and all these people, man, is it's amazing, because back when I first started, I didn't see a lot of people that looked like me
Yeah.
out there teaching and sharing and doing stuff like that. Now it's like so many people that look like us that are doing this, and I think it's important.
Mm-hmm.
to, and I know people be like, it doesn't matter, but it does. Like, for the people who say it doesn't matter are probably the people that are used to seeing people that look like them in those positions. They're not really used to walking into a building and being one of two or one of three, or walking into a boardroom and being the only one, or walking in
Mm-hmm.
being the only one in a whole entire complex, like,
Yeah.
or being one of five. Like, if you're not used to that, then of course it doesn't. You think it wouldn't matter, but for cats like us that are used to being in that situation, it's like, it's important. So it's like, maybe I can share something. I'm 39 years old, so maybe people feeling like, oh, I'm too old to switch or do this, do that. So I'm like, let me document how I'm navigating this as a 39-year-old tech head that has been self-employed for the last 8 years. Like, because for
Mm-hmm.
some employers, they look at that like, well, I don't know. I don't know if you can, I don't know if you want to be here. Like, I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I'm here. Like, I can do
Yeah.
the job we talking about. Like, instead of realizing all the skills that you gain from having to be somebody who runs a business, all the skills that you can bring to an organization, for some employers that scares them off. So it's just kind of
Mm-hmm.
navigating that whole thing. And yeah, man. So I've just been trying to build it like that, and not trying to so much rely on the stuff that I built to kind of promote what I'm doing here. So it's just
Mm-hmm.
like, this is just really passion, man. Like, hey, I'm learning this, let me write about it. Hey, I'm trying to figure out Linux, let me figure this out. Hey, man, I failed here, or figured this out, or did this. And it's, at the end of the day, like, it's fun. And for me,
Mm-hmm.
I like to do stuff that challenges me, and that is fun, and that is interesting.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of why I did it, man. So
That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. That's super dope story, man. Super dope story, man. You know what I'm saying? We all have our, backgrounds and stuff that we went through, going through
yeah,
getting into this field and also, venturing out doing business owner type stuff. Cause I've done that as well.
yeah,
I started a small business. I was just trying to do websites and stuff like that at one
yeah,
point back in the day, but that didn't work out, you know what I'm saying? But nah, man, interesting background. But let me shout out a
appreciate
couple people in the building. What's up, Super Sly? Good to see you. Thanks for the super chat. Necessary Evil, good to see you. Saravana. I hope I don't want to mess up your last name, so I'm gonna stop there. But good to see you in the building. Gabe Bay, shout out to you, man. Good to see you, bro. Hello. And Professor Black Ops, good to see you again, man. Now it was a couple questions I wanted to ask you.
for sure.
Cause I've talked about this in the past that sometimes you have to, I don't know, sometimes you end up having to take a step back, to get where you're trying to go because
Yeah,
like especially since the IT field kind of changes a lot. And new
yeah.
technologies coming into it. And I know you said you worked 7 years. A lot of stuff is still the same, but there is a lot of stuff that has been
Oh yeah,
improved upon and stuff. So taking those help desk roles is
yeah,
something that can help you get back in the swing of things. So if you
yeah,
want to
yeah.
expand on it, yeah.
Yeah, definitely, man. It was definitely a strategic thing. And then also, like, you have to get to a point, like, for working for yourself for like 8 years,
Mm-hmm.
and then going to get a job. You have to humble yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, well, I done made it to this level. How am I gonna go here and work here and do that? So it's just like, it's a shift in mindset. And then it's like knowing what the help desk touches everything, or they see
Mm-hmm.
everything. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? They may not configure everything, but they touch everything. They have to interact with all the departments. So you got to learn what goes to the security people. What do they have to
Mm-hmm.
deal with? What goes to the network people? What do they have to deal with? What goes to the programmers? All these different things. And for me, that was important, because I feel like that's a great way to learn what a company is about.
Yeah.
And even in between that time, excuse me, even in between that time, I actually applied for another, and was offered another position on the networking team. But it was like, the offer, as somebody who has done that before, I'm in a position where I don't have to take any offer, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Which is awesome. You know what I'm saying? I can actually pick and choose. And I was like, well, the offer doesn't really make sense for what I know you're gonna have to do in this. So I'm gonna just chill, until something comes along. But definitely, man, help desk is a great way. Even if you have previous experience, it's a great way to kind of learn a company and kind of
Mm-hmm.
see where you want to go. And for me, like, it was like, I kind of knew I really didn't want to go back into the whole network engineer role. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like I knew that wasn't kind of where I was going. I was more interested. The things that get me excited was like security and cloud
Okay.
and stuff like that. So it was like, let me let me let me just go ahead and get back on this help desk thing and kind of get back familiar with the current levels of Windows and
Mm-hmm.
let me see what type of endpoint security people are using and let me learn these different things. And I feel like help desk just gives you a wide area of stuff. And plus, it's like I said, it's not stressful, so it allows me to continue to build on what I want to do. As I'm growing, and it just
Mm-hmm.
it gives you that, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like trying to go get a job directly after being self-employed is like, oh, well, your experience is kind of a gap, not knowing that the whole time I was still doing the same stuff. But for
Yeah.
most employers, they look at it like, well, so it's like, well, okay, help this help me, show that
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of it kind of ties the things together, even though I was doing the same type of stuff the whole time. And it's just
Yeah.
like for me, it's low stress. So I definitely think it's a great area to be in, to
Mm-hmm.
kind of learn a company and learn a lot of different technologies and to see the type of stuff that you're interested in.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. It's kind of like when I was in the army, they would always say the sergeants, the E5s, the sergeants, they're like kind of like the infantry is like the tip of the spear. You
Yeah.
know, they the ones kicking in the
Yep.
doors, they the ones doing all this stuff. Help desk is the same way. They the ones that get all the information first,
Yep.
and it goes out to all the different, the different areas of IT depending on what if it's something that could be handled there. If it
Yep.
needs to go up, it'll go to the networking guys or the security guys or I don't know, application development guys, from there. But help
Right.
desk is the kind of like the tip of the spear. You see everything. So,
Right.
yep.
Yep.
Yep. But shout out to Engineering Cannabis. I seen you come in. Appreciate you coming through. Coleman McFarland. Good to see you, man. Definitely appreciate it. And Mitchell Valentino, good to see you, man. One of my patrons. Definitely appreciate you seeing you in the building. Engineering Cannabis again. AB. What's up, AB? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. I see y'all rolling in. Yeah, and today's guest is JK from Tech Labs. He's been in the IT field for a long time, working different areas as well as a business owner. So I'm happy to have him in the building. But it was one other thing I wanted to ask you
Yeah.
about your intro. It was like, how important is it understanding tech as a business owner? Because I know you didn't go into it. I mean, all right. Um, Anybody could go in as a business owner, but you got that tech background. So,
Yeah.
um, do you think that helped you? Because I know a
Oh
lot
yeah.
of, yeah, I try to tell people like, as a business owner, you got to understand some technology, even, if you don't have that background, you got to have some understanding. But go
Yeah.
ahead.
Definitely. I mean, and I think for me, my business was built from my technical background. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So, like I said, it is a tech business.
Okay.
Where I mean, but it's not an IT business, if
Yeah.
that makes
Yeah.
sense. Like
That's what I
like
meant.
so
Yeah.
so when I say I was working with audio equipment manufacturers, it was the same type of stuff. I would get products, I would learn the product, I would
Mm-hmm.
troubleshoot the product, I would consult on the products, I would help people fix products, I would teach people how to use products. So it's the same type of stuff.
Yeah.
It having that technical, the whole point of it was I was able to take complex things, break it down and
Mm-hmm.
explain it to people, and was able to turn that into a business. And then on the back end, of course the tech helps, because it's like I can manage my business. Like
Yeah.
if something happens with my server or my website or stuff like that, I understand what's going on. So,
Yeah.
even if I do have to hire some help or hire somebody to do something, like if it's a remote server or I'm renting a server from somebody, they can't just tell me anything because I
Yeah.
know what's
Yeah.
going on. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Things like that. Or, when it's when things come out and they say GDPR, you gotta privacy, you gotta update this, and understanding what that means and how to implement that into my website, because I'm managing people's identity and different things like that. And how
Mm-hmm.
to, if somebody sends me a request and say, hey, I need you to delete my stuff, understanding what that means and why you got to comply with that. So it definitely is a huge part of
Mm-hmm.
business. And I wouldn't have been able to even start the business if I didn't have the technical background, for me, because
Yeah.
that's my business is so technical.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very integral part of what I do. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah,
So
and I,
yeah,
I definitely agree with you, man. And that's what I meant is by at least knowing what you're talking about, even if you have to pay somebody, you know what I'm saying, like as far as website stuff, so you don't get screwed, you know what I'm saying, and
yep,
it's good to have at least a base understanding, but
yeah,
um,
definitely,
yeah,
definitely.
yeah. So let me ask you this: so if someone was trying to get into IT, where do you think they should start?
Man, help desk is probably the easiest place to start, to be
Yeah.
honest. Most and maybe even service desk, which at most places the service desk and the help desk is different. Service desk is kind of like the very front line where they're taking the calls, they're doing the triage on the tickets, and then they're sending it to the techs who are actually doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's like some places they're the same, service desk and help desk, and then other places it's different.
Hmm.
So, but I would say both of those places, if you have any type of tech, like if you've ever set up a computer, most places will bring you in and train you on what you need to do at the help desk level.
Yeah.
So I think that's the easiest way to get in, even if that's not the area you want to go. Like if you're in school for programming or whatever, and you can't get an internship and you just need a job and you want to get some experience, some type of technician position helps. I mean, but at the end of the day, I say get in where you fit in, man.
Hmm.
If you can parlay your way into a programming entry level programming position first, do it.
Yeah.
If you can get into security first, do it. If you can get into databases first or building websites or whatever you can get into, do it. Because I feel like
Hmm.
everybody's journey is going to be different, and don't be afraid to ask. At the end of the day, like
Yeah.
the worst somebody can tell you is no, and that doesn't change your life by somebody telling you no. You're still in the same position. So, you know what I'm saying? Don't be
Exactly.
afraid of being rejected, and just ask, like, hey, can I have a job? Like, I got my first job by emailing the director of the department and saying, hey, can I have a job? And once I got there, the people that were there, like, I can't believe you just emailed the director. Why not?
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why not? But yeah, I definitely think help desk is a great way. And it doesn't have to be an enterprise. You could be somewhere like working Geek Squad at Best Buy. That's the same type of stuff.
Yeah.
That's the
Exactly.
same type of stuff. So think outside the box and just try to get your hands on some stuff. I think having a good understanding of the hardware, how things work, and how things operate is super helpful, no matter what you end up wanting to do.
Hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely agree though. Like, I mean, it all just try to get in where you can get in. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, it was something I wanted to ask you based on what you said, but I'm gonna just move forward because I
Are you good?
forgot.
You good? Just start. You just got to write it down, bro. You just got to
Yeah.
get you a little notebook and write it down so you get back to it. You know what
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's all good.
Nah, but it's I get caught up in listening. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? A lot of times, so
Yep.
that's why I get messed up because I do write stuff down. Like I wrote down those questions I asked earlier, but
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, but
No, I
in
mean, what I mean, like when you interviewing, I'm not, and it don't
hmm
have to be a full thing. You be like somebody talking, you be like, somebody say something about, help desk. You be like, help desk, and then you look at
hmm
it like, oh, I was going to ask you something about,
yeah,
random stuff, right? You
yeah,
all good, bro. Don't
yeah,
worry about it.
for sure,
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
cool. It's cool.
Now, how do you keep your technology skills current?
Man, I'm always trying to learn new stuff. Always trying to learn new stuff.
Hmm.
And for me, I'm a very results or goal oriented person. So that's why I like certifications. It's not so much to say, hey, I'm certified in this thing or I'm a expert in this thing. It's like if I'm going to study something, I like to have something at the end of the road that shows that I learned what I did. You know what I'm saying? So I don't care if it's a free certification or a paid certification. I like taking them because it's like, did you learn this? Okay, if I learned it, let me answer some questions about it. Let me do it. So from studying every day, lab every day, shout out to Duan and all that stuff. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, I do that, man. I got my own little lab set up, mainly virtual. I like virtual stuff, but I'm
Hmm.
always messing with hardware and things like that as well. But I like setting up labs, downloading a bunch of different Linux softwares and tools, and
Hmm.
just trying all type of stuff. And I think nowadays, man, compared to when I first got into IT, there's so many ways to just level up your skills. There's so many online virtual labs for free. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? From
definitely.
everybody. So it's like, if you want to learn cloud, you can learn cloud from the people who are making the cloud for
Mm-hmm.
free. If you want to learn, Linux, you can learn Linux for free. If you want to learn security, there's so many places you can go to learn how to secure things for free. So I just go through all type of stuff. I'm not somebody who be like, oh, I already know that. I'll go through
Mm-hmm.
stuff I already know just to do it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because it's just like the more you do it, the more repetition
Yep.
for anything. So it's like, yeah, I know how to set up Windows. Yeah, I know how to secure Windows, but I'm still gonna do the labs that show you how to set up and secure Windows. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's repetition. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? So yeah, I just like to learn as much as I can, watch as much as I can, listen to as much as I can, and definitely lab as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yep,
know,
I agree. I agree. And now it was I finally remember what I was gonna ask you about
but
under the question, the last question, but networking. How important is it having a network
network as far
as
as
far
like
as getting into the field, like
like
having people
like
that you can? Oh, go ahead.
so network like people networking or
Yeah,
like
people
actual
networking.
network people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's important, man. It- Definitely you got to be willing to kind of at least be willing to reach out to some people or talk to some
Mm-hmm.
people or do different things. I mean, I'm only here on your show because I was willing to say something on some of your other, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To because I usually kind of chill and just kind of watch, but I was like, yo, man, it's so cool seeing these cats out here doing this stuff. Let me encourage, let me show them that hey, people's watching
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely think it's important. And then it's like you never.
Uh-oh. Hold on. Hold on 1 second, guys. Look like we done froze up. Just give me 1 second. Make sure I'm still live. Yeah, he's froze up. Just give me 1 second. I'm got to get him back on. All right, so let me give I don't know, a couple more shout outs until JK gets back. Looks like his power went out, so I'll wait for him to come back. But yeah, Coleman McFarlane, I definitely agree with you. Buy used gear, you know what I'm saying, and that's something that I've done in the past. I've set up full Linux servers on old desktop computers, where I just set up a whole network, set up Samba shares, set up different applications, websites, and all that stuff on a Linux box. Right on a old Dell computer that I paid like $50 for. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely agree with you. Uh, yep. And then also I remember people used to purchase the Cisco equipment. Like they'll get it off of Craigslist, or one of those different applicate or websites to get older equipment. You know what I'm saying? So. And then Gabe says, you have any projects you're currently working on, Josh? Yes, I do. Um, well, my main focus has been on this course that I'm building for the Linux Plus exam. So I'm putting it all together. It's pretty much all together. I'm just I want to take the test myself so I could be certified in it to actually get just so I can, put my stamp of approval behind the course that I'm gonna put out there as okay. I went through this course, or actually I put together this course, so and it helped me pass this Linux Plus exam, and should help you pass the Linux Plus exam as well. So, um, that's basically what I'm doing right now, though. You know what I'm saying? All
Yo, yo.
right, you back. What's up? What's up?
Yeah, I don't know what happened, man. The whole power just flickered. I don't know if somebody's working in the area or what, man.
It's all good.
This one just so yeah. What are we talking about?
um,
Oh,
think the last thing you touched on. Well, no, we was talking about resources. Like, I guess what.
oh yeah, just like learning and labbing and keeping up skills.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Just like I said, books, everything, books, videos, YouTube, lab. Like I said, there's so much free stuff out there these days to learn. Uh, it's really like for me, like right now, I'm trying to get it more into Azure because like I've been using AWS for years in my business, mainly for storage and stuff like that. But it's like Azure for me is kind of a continuation of Windows administration, Active Directory, and stuff like that. So it's like learning that a lot of stuff is clicking to me. It's like Microsoft has so much free stuff on there where you can learn to use their stuff for free. Like these companies want you to learn their technology. They want you, so they're going to give you the training. Like, yeah, it's cool to pay for stuff, but hey, if you can learn something without having to pay for it, I'm all for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I like the fact that it's hands-on, so you can actually go through stuff and actually configure it. It's not just theory. It's like, okay, we're going to show you about whatever you're learning, resources and tenants and different things like that. Speaking about Azure, but then we're going to have you configure it. And this is all through Microsoft. They want you to learn this stuff. Same thing with AWS and Google and all these technologies. Most of them give you free stuff to learn their products. You know what I'm saying? Splunk. So, I was seeing different jobs. They were asking about Splunk and things like that when it comes to security. So I was like, well, I don't know much about Splunk. So let me go take this free Splunk fundamentals that they have. So I'm going to go through all that and then I'm going to pay to get the certification. I did it because it's like the information is free. Yeah, the certification wasn't free, but the information was free. And, so I do that. I do stuff like that. So I mean, just take advantage of any and everything you can that you're interested in. So,
exactly. Yeah, and I agree with you, man. It's like I was I'm trying to think of the database. It's like a NoSQL database that I was looking into not that long ago. Is AWS. They got training out there for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I do database administration work, so
Right.
yeah, I was looking into that to try to make myself more marketable. And yeah, I do the exact same thing as you. I lab every day. I'm trying to find new technologies that are popping up that people are getting into and actually using in the field. So stay on top of it.
Yeah, definitely. Yep, for sure.
Cool. So let me ask you this now. What certifications do you have? And
so I
and which ones you recommend?
All right, so when I on the first round of IT, I got MCSA, Network Plus, A Plus, Security Plus, all that stuff. And then kind of on my second go around, I picked back up and I was like, well, let me update the security stuff, but I don't really feel like taking Security Plus again because again, I like new challenges. And plus, I got into the Security Plus, Network Plus, A Plus when they were lifetime. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah, I was like, I'm good. But then too, I was like, let me. So then I waited. I saw that Cisco was coming out with the the new CyberOps one, because I was going to do CCNA CyberOps, but then I saw that they were retiring that and coming out with the new Cisco CyberOps Associates. So I did that one. Like I said, I did the Splunk. I did the Splunk one. Splunk core user or whatever. Then I just recently passed the SSCP, so I'm just going through the endorsement process for that. And then I also did like again when we're talking about free stuff, CyberArk. So I was seeing different jobs talking about CyberArk. I'm like, what is that? And it's identity and access management. I love access management, but mainly in AD. So I was like, well, let me learn what this CyberArk thing is about. So they have a whole free course where you can kind of get the intro to their CyberArk, and they have a certification test you can take for free. So I did that. It's a certification. Did I have to pay for it? No, it's free. Obviously, they want me to continue going and learning more about their stuff, but I'm gonna take advantage of the free stuff. So those are the things I have right now. I think as far as what's important, it depends on what you're trying to do. Like if you're trying to be a help desk technician or something like that, definitely A+. If you're trying to get into networking, Network Plus is. I mean, the CompTIA stuff is really good. If you're trying to get in security, Security Plus is good. But if you're mainly trying to get into Microsoft stuff or you're trying to get into cloud stuff, then I would say look there. Like if you're trying to get into AWS, then go to, AWS certified cloud practitioner and then kind of go down, because all these things have the same type of stuff. Like you can learn the basics of Azure fundamentals, and then you can level up into administration, and then you can specialize in networking and security all within Azure. So it depends on the type of stuff that you're trying to do. If you're more of a Windows environment, and you're trying to, and that's what you like Windows and you want to learn Windows, then learn the stuff that makes sense for Windows. They have networking. They teach networking over there in the Microsoft realm. They teach security over there. They teach identity management. They teach databases, all that stuff. So I would say it depends on what you're looking for and where you're trying to go. Somebody who's just trying to get into programming may not even be interested in an A+. You know what I'm saying? They may not care about a Network Plus. They may want to start with Python essentials. They may want to start with C# essentials. So they may want to start with Linux. And if somebody's just strictly trying to get into Linux, well, hey, Linux foundations, Linux administration, all these different things. Me, I like all of it, so I want to learn all of it. So I want to get certified in Linux. I want to do the one from the Linux Foundation, the hands-on one. I want to do that. You know what I'm saying? I understand networking, understand security, love the cloud. So I'm trying to do more cloud stuff. Like I like all of it. So I just like learning as much as I can about as many different things as possible. Things that are interesting to me. Like I meant to mention when I was in technical school. The second one that I went to, they had this whole thing where you did MCSA, all these things, but they also did like the what was it? The MCDBA, the certain Microsoft certified database administrator stuff. Bro, salute to you, because I did not like the databases at all. I was like, no. I was like, nah, bro, I can't do it. I can't do it. They had me in there doing queries and all this stuff. I was like, nope. No, tables and views and all this stuff. I was like, yeah, this one ain't. But you got to know that. But I'm glad that I was exposed to it, because I understand some of it, and I understand enough to know that I'm gonna leave that to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I kind of fell into the whole database thing because I've always been great with spreadsheets, just understanding how a table actually works, and then once I started understanding the formulas, you could write all the formulas in the tables, just, and then even outside of any type of job, I use Excel spreadsheets to like manage a budget, or things like that. So that kind of helped me, and then I started off, I guess I got more introduced to SQL from the development side. I developed applications like Access, Microsoft Access
databases.
Yeah.
They had to call back to the
SQL
database.
Yeah. So that's kind of how I got into it,
Right. Yeah. No, it's funny, man, because I love spreadsheets. Like my wife's always laughing at me. I'm like, I'll spreadsheet the mess out of some stuff, bro.
I'm the same way.
But that SQL stuff, I was like, woo. I was like, yeah, that. And I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and not, because I had the chance to go and pursue certifications, and then I was like, yeah, that one, I'll learn the class, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. So salute to you, brother. You know what I'm saying? That's some serious stuff right there.
Yeah. I got a question for both of us from Gabe. He basically says, how do you both document your learning resources? Do you all write things down, use some type of software, or other? If you want to go first, you can.
Yeah. I funny enough, spreadsheets.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I got an Excel spreadsheet of all the certifications that I want to take. So I'll put the spreadsheet of I'll put the name of the certification, the company, the name, what the test number is, how much it costs, how much the training costs, a link to the page, and then I have dates on there where did I get it? Yes. Did I get it? Yes. Did I get it? So I do that, and then as far as documenting, I write about it. So whether it be I'm doing a video about a course that I found or a
Mm-hmm.
certification that I took, or just micro blogging about stuff on Twitter or Instagram or stuff like that. Hey guys, I just found this, or hey, check this out, or hey, do this. And then my bookmarks are crazy. Like I'm super meticulous about my bookmarks and having
Yeah.
everything in folders. So if it's something about DFIR, that has its own folder. Cloud has its own folder. Threat hunting has its own folder. You know what I'm saying? All these different things. So yeah, I document it in as many different ways as I can. I like
Mm-hmm.
to keep track of stuff as far as like certifications and topics that I'm trying to learn. Even if it's something I'm not learning at the time. So it's like I know I want to learn code. I know I want to learn Python. So I have a whole, bookmark folder full of the resources that I think would make sense for me when I get to that step, so that I can come back to it and kind of learn on it. But yeah, just I think it's important to write too, man. Like
Yeah.
whether you just write or you do a mixture of both. Like for me, some stuff I just write on my website, some stuff I do videos on. I don't do videos on every single thing, but I think just having some type of documentation that you can even look back on and then help
Mm-hmm.
people. Like for me, I haven't been on YouTube for this channel for very long, but already getting responses from people talking about how it's helped them, navigate certain things, or maybe people were looking into the Cisco certification or this or that. So it's just like for me, it's just documenting as much as you can and in as many different ways as you can. It doesn't always have to be a formal thing. It could be something as simple as uh, like I think you saw the other day when I was posting on Twitter. I was like, man, I just spent an hour stuck on a freaking Linux command,
Linux, man. Yeah.
pulling my head out, and I was like, I just had two letters reversed in the command. It was
Mm-hmm.
SVR versus SRV. I'm like, come on, bro. But sharing stuff like that
Yeah.
to let people know, like, it's not all gravy. Like we don't know everything.
Yeah.
And no matter how
Exactly.
long you've been in something, when it comes to IT, there's always something you can know. So being able to document through Twitter, through your own website, through your own blog, through YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
whatever you like to do, however you like to do it, however you like to share. Some people like to do GitHub. I
Mm-hmm.
haven't really got into that side of things yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I understand GitHub, but I know some people that use GitHub as a blog. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Some
that's
people
cool.
use it as their website.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
super cool. But
What about you?
no, I do somewhat of the same thing. I have documentation of everything I'm doing, in a couple different areas, and it's kind of confusing. But for anybody else to come in behind me and look at it, it'll be confusing. But I document, and that's what when I seen the question, I brought up. I picked up my book, but I write a lot of stuff down in this book as far as resources on where I'm going, sticky notes, all that stuff.
Yeah,
So and then also uh my bookmarks are the
yeah,
exact same way as you. I have them like very detailed, so it all
yeah,
depends on what it's for, what it is, and I
yep,
have it all bookmarked and organized as best I can, with
yeah,
everything. So that's pretty much how I document. And then another thing I want to do is kind of what you're doing. That's why I've been kind of letting my website kind of sit for a while,
hmm,
because it's really nothing up there other than like an introduction or a way to point people to my YouTube channel. But
gotcha.
I want to start documenting more things up there. It's just
Yeah,
hard to
do it,
find the
man.
time, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, I mean, look, bro.
But yeah,
I hear
yeah,
you. I hear you, but I ain't gonna let you get off that easy because you got time to do videos. You got time
yeah,
to write something. It
yeah,
take it take a lot less time to write something than it does to do
yeah.
a video.
You right,
You
you
know,
right.
like, nah, we ain't gonna do
Yeah,
that one. We ain't
yeah.
gonna slide past that one. You know what I'm saying? No, I think it's important. And like I said, it's not
Mhm,
even about how many people see it or whatever. It's like putting it out there.
mhm.
The search engines find it. You never know when somebody will find something
Yeah,
that you're writing about that's going to help them. And
yeah.
I don't even, I just, something that I'm learning about or something that I'm studying or something that I think is helpful. I'll just share about it. It's not so much like how many people are going to like this, how many people,
Mhm.
like you never know who's going to help somebody. I guarantee you, if you had to figure it out, or it's something that helped you, it's going to help somebody else.
Yeah.
Whether it's one person or more than one person, it doesn't matter. But definitely right, man, because I'm a firm believer in having your own stuff. Like YouTube can shut down tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like always, always, always have something where people can find you that's your own.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, and Gabe says thanks for the answer, fellas. Yeah, thanks for asking that question,
For
man.
sure.
I'm gonna add that to my list of questions. I appreciate it, Gabe. Nah, shout
Yes,
out to
sir.
you, Gabe.
Yes, sir.
But it was a couple other people I wanted to shout out. I seen Coleman McFarland, I already shout you out, but good to see you again. He says, well, I asked a lot of these questions at the end, and we almost to the end. But what's up,
Okay.
Maddox? How you doing? But the next thing I wanted to ask you, so you know, I run a Linux channel, so I always like to incorporate it a little bit.
Yep.
How important is understanding Linux in your opinion?
Super important, depending on what you're trying to do. So let me explain. For me, I'm into security and I'm into cloud. That's the stuff that really excites me, that I want to learn about. Both of those need a good foundation in Linux. Hence why I'm becoming more and more familiar with Linux, because it's like a lot of that stuff is command line stuff. A lot of the tools are Linux. A lot of the Terraform and all this different stuff, and deployment and infrastructure as code, all that stuff is Linux. So it's like, yeah, Microsoft Azure has a lot of Linux in the background. AWS has a lot of Linux in the background. You know what I'm saying? And any type of security that you're doing is going to have some type of Linux in the background. Even if you're strictly focused on Windows security, a lot of the tools that you may use when you're threat hunting or doing forensics or things like that may have a Linux base. And I think it's important, man. And like, you know, Linux is in so many things. Internet of Things, all the your refrigerator, your stove, your doorbell, all these things are have Linux. So it's like, I think it's important. I think it's fun to learn. I think it's good to learn something different. Yeah, I just think it's important, depending on what you want to do. I can't see. I'm trying to think of a realm where it wouldn't be important. Because I think even programming, you know, understanding some Linux, because even just getting familiar with the Linux and command line and navigation like that can help you in other areas. Like learning Bash can help you with PowerShell. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. So
yeah, definitely.
yeah.
Now, since you brought up programming, what kind of programming languages do you know or are you learning, and which ones do you recommend?
Man, it's on my list. It's on my list. I'm a little bit familiar with PowerShell coming from a Windows background.
Yeah.
But most of the time, to be honest, man, like if I need to do something in PowerShell, I'm gonna look up what I need to do and then do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I just sit down and it's one of those things, like the more you do, like there's certain things that I do in PowerShell that I just know, you know what I'm saying? But there's other stuff, more intricate stuff that you look up, and I think that's with anything that you do.
Yeah.
But for me, as far as what I want to learn, I definitely want to become more of a PowerShell power user, so to speak. So I'm probably going to do some type of courses and stuff strictly on that. And then I also want to learn Python. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like Python, again, for security and cloud, Python is it seems to be the go-to. So I definitely want to get some of those Python Institute, you know, fundamentals and stuff like that. Some of those certifications. Yeah.
It's great to understand the fundamentals, but the other skill to any programming language is understanding how to search Google, Tech Republic, and all these different places.
But
Because
that's with anything, bro.
yes,
Anything IT.
Yeah. You're right. Because if you run into a problem, most likely somebody in the world has ran into that same problem, and they probably documented it on the web. Sorry about that.
Again, and that's why it's important for you to start documenting stuff on your website so people can find the stuff that you've been figuring out.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you're at work, I can't watch a video, but I can read an article. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
so definitely, man. Like all that stuff you be doing with the Linux stuff and showing all that stuff, man. And you need to start doing. I don't mean to tell you what you need to do, but I think it would be cool if you start sharing some of your DBA stuff, man. Because like I said, that stuff is. And there's and again, databases. So you talking about stuff that's on the back end of a lot of stuff. You talking about Linux and databases. Like you are the glue that holds so much stuff together. You You know what I'm saying?
For
Like,
sure.
so yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
I got you. I got you. I'm gonna start incorporating because you the second person that didn't tell me that I need to start incorporating some
Yeah,
SQL stuff. But I didn't want to push away the people because there's a lot of people that subscribe to me just because I do strictly Linux, and I didn't want to push anybody
that's cool.
away by throwing Windows in the mix.
Look,
You know what I'm
man,
saying?
your
So
channel's called Keep It Techie, bro.
yeah,
It didn't say Keep It Linux. It
Linux.
said
Yeah,
Keep It Techie. You know what I'm saying? Keep it techie. Like
yeah,
this is what you do. This is who you are.
mm-hmm,
And I feel like you have an audience that resonates with you, bro.
for sure.
And you might lose some people, but it's like it's a whole nother realm of people that want to learn the DBA stuff that
Mm-hmm.
you could be reaching as well. So it's just like it's
Okay.
part of it, man. And
Yeah.
I think it's just comfortable for you. Like all this stuff we doing, whether you online or you writing or you doing videos or whatever, it has to be comfortable for you first and
Mm-hmm.
foremost. It has to be something that you enjoy, bro. So
Yeah.
it's like if that's what you're doing, you're like, bro, today I did such and such and such with this SQL thing, or this is how you do such and such and such. Like I'm telling you, man, like there's people out there that want to know that stuff. You
Okay.
know what
Yeah,
I'm
I
saying?
got you.
Most definitely.
Nah, you're right. You're right. You're right. I definitely agree. Um. So let me see. It was a couple questions. I'm gonna just roll right into the questions.
Are
Uh,
you cool?
um, it was one other question I typically ask that I forgot to ask, but
Go ahead.
if you wanna answer it, is
Go ahead.
basically that question that I ask every single time: degrees, certifications, or both. What route
Yeah.
you think?
I think whatever makes sense for you, you should do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I knew early on that college wasn't for me because I'm not somebody that wants to learn random stuff. I want
Mm-hmm.
to learn what I want to learn. If I want to learn about security, I don't want to take a history class. You know what I'm saying? So for me, certifications was the way.
Mm-hmm.
That was the main reason that I didn't pursue college. I just knew that I like to learn and I can learn stuff and I did well in school and all that type of stuff, man. But if I don't have to learn it and it's not going to help me in exactly what I'm trying to do, you know what I'm saying? Then for me, it's just like I rather spend my time learning something that specifically that I want to learn. So it's like I think definitely it makes it a little bit harder. You know what I'm saying? Without having a
Mm-hmm.
degree to get into certain spaces. So I think it's important if that's what you want to do and you have a goal and you have a plan. But I feel like if you decide not to do that, don't think that it's over for you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Don't think that there's not other options. And like again, going back to all the resources that are available today, bro, there's so much you can learn from actual universities for free. Like, you know what I'm saying? You could take
Yeah.
university courses that you may not get the degree, but you could take the courses for free. You know what I'm
edX.
saying?
I talk
Like,
about edX all the
yeah,
time.
man,
Yep.
man, it's so much. I'm talking about like actual like Stanford and Harvard and
Mm-hmm.
like all these places you can take these classes for free.
Yep.
So if you want to learn how they teach coding, you can do that. You want to learn how they teach security, like you can do all these. There's so many different options. So it's like if you want to get a degree, by all means go for it. But I'm definitely not gonna tell you that you have to have a degree to get into IT. It's just gonna look a
Mm-hmm.
little different, and you may have to start a little bit lower, and you may have to do a little bit, work a little bit harder. But the fact that you can learn a certification, study for a certification is something that you specifically want to learn. For
Mm-hmm.
me, is amazing because it's like, all right, if I want to learn about Splunk. I can take a course on Splunk and
Oh yeah.
then get a certification on Splunk. If I want to learn about a certain type of security tool, I can do that. If I want to learn about Azure, I can do that. So it's like I can pick and choose but it's to me, the degree is the same thing. It's the same way I feel about TV. You know what I'm saying? It's like, look, if you just let us pick the TV channels instead of giving me all these channels I don't want, we'd be cool. You know what I'm saying? And so
Mm-hmm.
and you kind of get into that now with all the streaming and all these channels letting you HBO letting you just purchase HBO and ESPN letting you just so you starting to get to that, whereas before it was just the whole thing just to get one or two things you liked. So it's
Yeah.
like I get it, man. Like I'm not against degrees at all. I think if that's the route you want to go, I think it's really great because it puts you on a certain trajectory. But if you know that you're not somebody that wants to do that, there are other options. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I say whatever works best for you, man. For real.
Yeah. And
Like
it
you just got to
and
find
to
your way.
and to me the kind of the I guess the value of a degree is not what it used to be, in my opinion. And to be honest, I don't like saying this, but I'm gonna just go out on and say it. But my degree, because I got a bachelor's degree in information technology with a focus on internet security, but it was
Hmm.
all theory based. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
I got something out of it, but I got more out of certifications and just the hands-on
Yeah.
type training. I guess because that's the way I am as a learner as well. I've talked about that in the past. I learned
Yeah.
by actually breaking something and fixing it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Not breaking somebody's enterprise network, but you know what I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
I learned by doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, no, I think both, man, to be honest. Like,
hmm
I think both are beneficial depending on who you are.
yeah,
And I think neither. Like for some people, they don't have either and they're fine. So it's just
hmm
you just gotta know which way you want to go
yeah,
and be prepared for the road that you have to take because of it. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you regardless of how we feel about degrees or how you feel about a degree,
hmm
at the end of the day, a lot of times that can get you past the gatekeepers in HR for certain positions if you
hmm
have a degree versus somebody. If we looked exactly the same on paper, but
yeah,
you had a degree and I didn't, sometimes you may get that. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And
yeah.
that's just something that I knew. When
hmm
I made that decision way back in high school. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. Like
Yeah, and it's not for
I just knew.
everybody.
Yeah,
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 it's not for everybody. So, I mean, it all depends on what you want to do. It's just like
yep,
the military. I mean, the military
yep,
is not for everybody. Not everybody gonna join the military. You know what I'm saying? Or
right,
can join the military. So,
yeah.
it is what it
But it's
is.
Yeah,
It's
and
just,
and
you
and
just
there's lots of benefits that come with that. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? I got lots of family, pops, uncle, aunts, like that was military. But I
hmm
knew early on, for me, that just wasn't gonna be the way to go. You know what I'm
I
saying?
got you.
But
Yeah.
I knew that I was giving up things like the GI Bill and
Oh
and the
yeah.
training that you can get and all these different things. I knew that, but it's just
hmm
like you got to make your choice. So yeah,
Yeah.
search degrees, whatever. Like,
hmm
hey man,
Do
just
your
just do what makes
research.
you, yeah, do your
Yeah.
research and do what makes you happy and what makes sense for you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I agree. I agree. I agree.
Yeah,
And shout out to Cole's Tech. I haven't seen you in a while, man. Salute to you, bro. Go on and start making them videos again, man. I thought you promised you was gonna keep going, man. I want to see some more videos, bro. I'm just messing with you, Cole, but good to see you though. Um,
word word.
yeah, but if you guys didn't know, I have JKS Tech Labs on. I have his YouTube channel up. I put the link to his YouTube channel in the it's in the description of the video as well. I put it in the chat so you guys can click on it and subscribe to his channel as well as his website. So
Appreciate it.
check it out.
Appreciate
Check
it.
it out where he puts up a lot of information up there as well. But it was now if anybody have any questions, just go on and ask them now.
Yeah,
Cause we finna go on and wrap it up. But it was do you have a LinkedIn? You want to share that or
yeah, yeah, yeah,
not?
yeah. It's JK Swopes on LinkedIn. Yep, you can find
Okay.
me.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll follow you there or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah.
So
For sure, for sure.
yeah, and then also check out JK on Twitter as well. He puts up a lot of information up there as well. Well,
Yeah,
tweets out a lot of stuff. I'm not a
yeah,
Twitter guy too much.
yeah, 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 yeah,
I
yeah.
actually have a bot that runs on my Twitter, man. I created
Word.
a Python. Well, I
Yeah,
didn't create it. I pulled the base script and I
yeah,
modified it to my liking
yeah,
from off of GitHub and
yeah,
and I do a lot of stuff to my Twitter that
yeah.
way. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. Hey, I feel you, man. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. And sometimes for me, like in the middle of the day, it's easier to just share something real quick on
hmm
Twitter than trying to write a whole article or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just part of the same thing with Instagram. It's like sometimes you just want to share a video and a little bit of something what you're doing or a little picture. So yeah,
hmm
I just just putting some stuff out there, different places. Because I know, like you said, some people don't want to go to Twitter. Some
Yeah.
people prefer blogs. Some people prefer video. Some people prefer Instagram. I kind of use them all, and
hmm
just put out the stuff that I feel like sharing. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So Is there anything else you want to say? Because I don't see no questions coming in. But hold on 1 second. Shout out to Kev Tech IT support. Thanks for coming through, man. I definitely appreciate it. He says much
Yes,
love
sir.
to you. Keep it techie. Keep bringing more talented techs to the talk. Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Dope, 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 dope. Yeah, I seen somebody ask the question about SSCP. Yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
it's ISC squared. It's kind of like a baby CISSP. It's more the practitioner version. So where CISSP is more the managerial, SSCP is more the hands-on, in the trenches, technician side of it.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it was like that was one of the ones that I used to want to get. Way back when I first started, I wanted some ISC squared stuff. So I was like, let me start with that, because I felt like getting that certification. The certification is cool, but also being a part of the ISC squared organization, because they provide a lot of professional development and training and stuff like that. So for me, it was twofold. It was like, yeah, let me get this certification and learn some of this stuff, because there was a lot of overlap between that and cyber ops.
Mm-hmm.
But being a part of the ISC squared organization, I felt like would be beneficial for the stuff that I want to learn, because they have so much educational content that you get access to as a member. So that was part of it. But yeah.
Yeah, and I actually seen you. Yeah, you got that on your blog as well. I seen
Mhm.
you got an article about you taking those certifications. So he does document his stuff here.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I try to do that, man. And I think for me, man, like sometimes I feel like I over prepare. I like to be over prepared for something as much as possible. So people may look at it and be like, bro, why you got so many resources that you use for one thing? I just like a lot of different views, and I like to learn a lot of different ways. So I may watch 3 or 4 different video courses on something, or I may read 3 or 4 different books, or I may, and for me, I may not go through the whole thing in each one, but I feel like everybody presents information differently.
Mm-hmm.
So one person teaching about a topic may focus more on one area, and another person teaching about the same topic, but he may focus on something totally different more. So I find that, like, when I'm training for certifications or trying to learn something, some guys give you a really good broad overview. Some guys are super super technical, almost to the point where it's like, you're giving me too much stuff. I know this isn't going to be on here, but they feel
Mm-hmm.
like we want you to know everything. And then some people just follow with the exam topic. You know what I'm saying? So it's just
Yeah.
like there's different ways. So I always try to document and show people how I learned, what I learned,
Mm-hmm.
what I thought about it, and what I thought about the exams and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just fun, man. And I think it comes back to being important to see people that look like you doing the stuff that you're trying to do and that you want to do.
For
I think
sure.
that's important. I think that's important. So
For sure. I
yeah.
appreciate that. I appreciate that. Now I wanted to ask you this when I had looked at your website last night. I was like, oh, let me
Hmm.
write this down.
Yeah.
SANS. Have you
Yeah.
taken any SANS certifications? I know they
No.
expensive as
So,
yeah.
man, look, peep game. So, Sands has these things called academies, right? Where
Uh-huh.
they give away some Sands courses. You got to apply and do different things.
Okay.
And they had one where it was like, so this is a good thing for anybody out there that's trying to transition into cybersecurity from another field. If you're
Mm-hmm.
not an IT at all, you can apply to a Sands academy, and they specifically, there's certain ones. They have some for minorities, they have some for vets, they have some for certain area. I think there's one like specifically for California workforce, but there's one where it's like it's a transition, so it's for people trying to transition into cyber. So they're really looking for people who aren't in IT or don't have that much IT background. But I was like, hey, I'm not specifically in cyber. So I emailed him. I said, hey, can I apply for this? He's like, well, you can apply, but we really try to focus on people who don't have any IT background. I was like, cool, I'll try to apply. I didn't end up getting in. But anyway, if you're out there and you're looking to get into some SANS courses, it's totally free. You have to apply, get like a letter of recommendation, stuff like that. But I think it's like a 6-month program where they take
Wow.
you through a bunch of their courses for free for people who are trying to get into security. So if anybody's watching this trying to transition into security or trying to get into IT and they want to
Mm-hmm.
start with security, like, you could be in anything. Like, you could be a construction worker that wants to get into IT security. They'll look at that and be like, oh, because for them it's like, look, we can help somebody transition into this field that
Mm-hmm.
has no background. So those are the people that they focus on the most. So unfortunately, I wanted those trainings. I did, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But I didn't get in it. It's cool, it's fine, you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
appreciate I still appreciate what they're doing. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
amazing the way that they're helping people out there. But no,
Yeah.
sir, I have not.
Okay.
I have not had the opportunity to take a
Yeah.
SANS course yet. So,
Okay. Yeah, no
you
reason
know,
I asked because Gabe Bay, who's always in the chat, I know he speaks highly about
yeah,
SANS
I say,
and
man,
SANS certifications.
yeah, he
Yeah.
SANS that.
Yeah.
I seen his certification. I'm like, yeah, all right, I see you over there.
Yeah.
Let me hold one of them. Let me hold one of them.
Yeah.
Just let me touch it, man. Let me see it a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But that's good they're doing that to help transition
Hmm.
people over because that's um that's always been a thing we talk about or I've talked about or people
Yeah.
have talked about just trying to people that are been working in different areas and they just trying to transition over into IT cyber or whatever
Yeah.
ways for them to actually do that, what I'm
Yep.
saying, that a lot of their skills can be converted over into IT skills depending on what type of positions they're going into. So
Yes,
yeah,
indeed.
because a
Yes,
lot of times
indeed.
most jobs, I mean, we all are cyber security professionals. We all trying to protect the company's assets at the end of the day, so or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. But it's like, especially when you're trying to get a cyber specific job, like it's sometimes hard to, uh, it's hard to correlate those things, or like you need
Mm-hmm.
X amount of years. I'm like, well, I've been doing this for 15 years, so having to
Mm-hmm.
go in and and really, I think what helped me, another thing that helped me about the SSCP is when you go through the endorsement process, you gotta map your experience to their domains from the
Mm-hmm.
tests.
Yeah.
So for me, that's something that it actually helped me for my resume and my career, because it's like, okay, now I need to go through and see throughout my experience, how does it map to these security domains? And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
once you do that, you realize, like, bro, it's so much stuff that you've been doing that maps to this stuff, and
Yeah.
it's just how you can word it to make it make sense. So it's just like, instead of just saying, yeah, I manage Active Directory, well, yeah, that's access management, identity
Mm-hmm.
access man. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like, so it's
Yeah.
just like stuff like that. So yeah, that's another
Mm-hmm.
thing. That's another key. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there that help people transition. I wish there was more stuff that help people transition from other areas of IT
Mm-hmm.
into security.
Yeah.
Because it's more like, well, you've been in IT forever, so just figure it out type of thing. And it's like, well,
Yeah.
I mean, I
They need
get it,
some
but
resources,
yeah.
some help.
So it's like,
Yeah.
we just do what we do, man. But
Yeah.
there's some stuff out there, man. It's really cool. So
Cool.
yeah.
Now the last question,
Mhm.
and it comes from Maddox. I definitely appreciate you reminding me, Maddox 12. What's your battle station? Or your computers? What you got set up, man?
Bruh, man. Okay, so you can see the dual monitors set up over there.
Okay.
That's where I hook up my laptop, and my wife hooks up her laptop. So I just got a dock over there, and we share that one. The
Mm-hmm.
one I'm on right here is a it's a Mac Mini, the M1 Mac Mini. This is kind of
Okay.
like my office, but in the basement. That's that's where I got like but again, my business, or like tech joint,
Yeah.
and it's like a i7 with like 128 gigs of RAM and a bunch of
Oh man.
SSDs, and it's got a big 43-inch monitor,
Wow.
and all that type of stuff. So I got a few different setups, and then obviously I got the iPad and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
it just depends on what I'm doing, man. I spend a lot of time up here in this area. I like
Mm-hmm.
to keep it nice and clean and simple.
Got
Um,
you.
just give me a couple monitors and I'm good, because most of the stuff I can do online or through VMware or Parallels. So I'm running Parallels on my Mac Mini. So I got
Okay.
Kali, Ubuntu, Fedora on there. Um, and man, I don't know if you mess with Mac, but running Parallels on Mac is crazy, because you can have all your stuff running up, and then if you just use the mouse, you can just flip through them joints, and it's like it just changes the whole screen. It's
Wow.
super smooth, and it's a small thing, but it's like going between that and running VMware and VirtualBox and stuff on Windows. It's just
Mm-hmm.
a totally different experience, because it's full screen, and you can just switch through them joints. So I can have all four of them joints just running at the same time,
Wow.
and then just switch over, and it's like, boom, I'm on Ubuntu, boom, I'm on Kali, boom, I'm on Fedora, boom,
Okay.
I actually got a Windows one on there too, so boom, I'm on Windows 10, and it,
Mm-hmm.
it just feels like the whole thing, just the way Parallels. I think it's more of a Parallels thing, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
if anybody's out there, so yeah, Parallels on my Mac, VMware Workstation on my laptop with a bunch of VMs, and VMware Workstation on my main workstation in the basement with a bunch of VMs and stuff like that. So, but the one in the basement, that's the that's the big boy. Like I said, 128 gigs of RAM, you know what I'm saying? SSDs, AMD Ryzen, you know. So yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm looking up parallels now because I do have a just a small Mac.
Oh, get it, bro.
Yeah,
Get it.
just to
Get
check
it.
it out
Like
and see.
I highly recommend it. The way they implement that joint, the way it integrates, it's super smooth, man.
Okay,
Super smooth. Super smooth to switch between your VMs, man. I love it.
that's what's up, man. Yeah, cause yeah, that's dope right there, man.
I'm gonna say how many VMs am I running?
Yeah.
Ha, man. I actually just purged a few of them, but I probably had at one point on my laptop probably like 20 24 different VMs. So, um, and even on my VMs in my VMware, I got it broken down kind of like in groups. So I got like my SecOps stuff where it's got like Kali and Parrot and I'm just trying to pull it up real quick on my
Okay.
laptop. Kali, Parrot, Slingshot, Red Hunt, and then I got for Intel stuff, I got like Security Onion set up. For analysis stuff, I got Remnux, Flare, Sift, and then for my clients, I got Windows 10, Mint, Elementary, Zorin, Ubuntu, and I've tried a bunch of other stuff like Arch Linux and stuff like that, bruh. You got to put me on game on Arch Linux, bro. Like I
Yeah.
had it for a minute, but I was like, look, man, I'm not gonna use this. I'm not gonna use
Hmm.
this right now. I'm not ready for it. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
said I got it set up, and it was definitely harder to set up than the other ones.
Yeah.
But stuff like that, and then I have like targets on there, like
Hmm.
Metasploitable, Websploit, Websec, Dojo, stuff like that. So it just depends on what I'm doing, but anywhere between 10 to 25. But I don't think you need that many. I think if you have like two to four, you can do a lot of what you're trying to do as far as like if you're trying to do security stuff.
Hmm.
Um, if you're trying to do cloud stuff, you don't even need your VMs. You can just run everything in the cloud. So,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, it just depends on what you're trying to do. But like on my M1, I got four VMs. So I got a Ubuntu, I got a Fedora, I got a Kali, and then I got a Windows.
Okay.
So it's just different flavors of
Well,
Linux and
check
then a
out.
Windows.
Well, check out Manjaro. Manjaro
I
is
did that
Orange
one too.
based. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah. I
All
had
right.
I had that I had that one too. I ended up
So
like I
that's
said, I
basically
just
Orange. Same thing.
nah, bro, nah, it
It's
ain't.
well, it's
Nah.
easier to run.
Well,
Yeah,
well, let me be okay. So I
and
tried
it
Black
does have
Arch.
its own repository, so that
I tried Black Arch, so maybe that's
uh-huh.
different than the other ones. But I was like, hold up, this
Yeah.
is this is a little much. But yeah, I tried Manjaro Live, Element. I tried a bunch of different ones. A lot of the
Hmm.
ones that you mentioned, I tried, and then for me, man, like I'm real big on looks, so I like the
Okay.
ones that look good. So
Yeah.
if it look
Yeah.
like if I install a Linux build or whatever what do you call them, Linux what distribution? There it goes.
Distribution.
If I install a Linux distribution and the graphics are not clean and crisp, I just get rid of it. I don't
Hmm.
like it. I can't do it. I'm
Yeah, I'm the
sorry.
same. I'm the same way.
Like, I like the stuff that looks good. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I never really use any of the distributions that I review. I use them for maybe a week, but they get deleted because
yeah,
I mean, I already have what I want on my desktop, and I have no reason to change. I haven't found a distribution that has made me want to change from Orch. I mean,
gotcha.
yeah, it's more difficult to set up,
Yeah,
but once you get it set up, it just works. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never had no
yeah,
problems with it, but
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. To be honest, man, I think probably right now, I know I'm basic, but my favorite Linux distribution is probably Ubuntu or Kali.
okay, yeah,
Um,
it's nothing,
I think
yeah,
it's just clean. They work.
yeah,
But I haven't I
nothing wrong
haven't
with that.
I haven't went yeah I haven't went the full route of just switching to those just
Uh
because of the
huh.
stuff that I do
Hmm.
business wise and just
Oh
everything else
yeah.
I can't. But um, I'll probably gonna install a couple dedicated. I got an old iMac. I'll probably install Linux on that, and I got a couple old laptops that I just I'll put Linux on. So yeah, I like messing with them. I like installing a
Yeah.
bunch of them, but
Hmm.
um, then I'll go through and scale them down and be like, I'm gonna just keep these in there. So,
And I just love how you could revive a old laptop or old desktop computer with
yeah,
Linux on it, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So instead of just throwing
yeah.
it away or sending it
Yeah,
to the recycling center,
yeah.
you can actually
I also been thinking about getting a Raspberry Pi and installing Linux on that as well. Just
oh
messing with
yeah.
that. Yeah, just
Yeah.
to kind of mess with it. So,
Yeah, I got a couple of them around here, man.
of course, yeah, yeah,
But nah, man, I definitely appreciate you coming through. I don't see any more questions, so we're gonna go down and wrap it up. But you
yeah,
guys go on and check out his website. I put the links down. The link is in the description of the video.
Appreciate it.
Um, and I'll drop it again in the chat so you guys can um, go subscribe to his channel, please, so he can
I
get more
appreciate it.
people on his following what he's doing, because he's I any if I bring you on, I think you're doing something great. So you
Yeah,
know what I'm
no, I
saying.
appreciate it, man. Like I was
So
surprised when you hit me up, because like I said, I'm just chilling, just sharing my little thing in my little corner, man. And he was like, "Hey, bro, you want to come on?" I'm like, "Bro, I've been watching. Yeah, I'll come
yeah,
through."
for
Like I
sure.
like what y'all doing. Again, like I said, when I started back in the first time around in IT, man, it just wasn't a lot of black folks out
Hmm.
there sharing knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, knowing when we go into these places, it's not a lot of us. It's just for me, it's important to see that representation.
Oh yeah.
For some people, they may not get it, but for me, I think it's important, and it's encouraging because you're like, man, yeah, this is for me. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Yep.
So yeah, I appreciate what all y'all doing, man. And you got a bunch of the people that I follow is in your chat right now. So yeah,
Oh
man,
yeah.
Professor Black Ops and Gabe A, and man, so many people. Keep it
Yeah.
Kev Tech. I
Yeah.
subscribed to
Kev
him the
Tech.
other day too. So
Yep.
yeah, Djax, like a lot of Dwan, like all these people, man. It's so many people. I can't name all the names, but I subscribe to all of them, man. I think it's dope. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Exactly, man. But shout out to everybody that came through. Definitely appreciate you guys, and you guys have a good evening.
Yep. So yeah.
Peace.